Hello and welcome back to the deep dive. So today we're taking a look at a pretty unusual stack of sources.
Yeah, it is. We're not digging into geopolitical reports or anything like that.
No, our source material is actually a transcript from an English language learning video. A guide for beginners who are trying to overcome their hesitation.
And it might sound a little niche, I guess, but when we were reading through it, the advice was just, it felt like a universal operating manual.
Totally.
I mean, it's a playbook for success in, well, pretty much any new thing you might be trying to tackle.
Absolutely. So our mission for this deep dive is to pull out those pure actionable insights from this guide. We're going to show that these principles, consistent practice, building confidence, accepting mistakes, they apply everywhere.
Right, whether it's a new job, a new fitness routine, any difficult skill.
And it all comes down to what we're calling the learner's paradox.
Yes, the source just captures this brilliantly. Most people, no matter what they're trying to learn, they wait. They wait to be perfect or ready before they even start.
They censor themselves. They think they need to be competent before they can take any action.
And that's where the whole cycle just breaks down,
Yeah.
right? Waiting to be ready it's a self-defeating strategy.
You can't get ready without doing the thing. So we're going to unpack how this guide diagnoses that barrier, this confidence gap, and how it offers a way out.
Yeah, and the source gives us this great little archetype, a fictional learner named Leo. But Leo, he's basically all of us.
He's every beginner.
He's every beginner. He feels shy. He's nervous. He's about to try something, and he just freezes up.
And his fears are so specific, which is what makes them so universal. Leo's worried about three main things. First, grammar mistakes.
Okay.
Then poor pronunciation, which if you think about it, that's just faulty technique in any other skill.
Sure, sloppy execution.
Exactly. And the third is just saying the wrong thing, that social risk of looking, incompetent.
It's the performance anxiety of a novice,
Mm.
boiled down to its essence. And the source just nails the internal barrier. Leo actually says, and this is so important, I think too much before I speak and then I stop.
That's the line. I think too much before I speak and then I stop. That's the sound of learning just grinding to a halt. I mean, if you've ever held back an idea in a meeting or put off signing up for a class, you know that exact feeling.
You do.
Yeah.
And that overthinking, that self-censorship, it completely prevents you from acquiring the skill. It traps you. You're not actually doing anything. You're just preparing.
You're stuck in the prep phase
Well,
forever.
Forever.
Yeah.
And the skill never grows.
So how do you break out of that? Is it just, be brave, or is there a specific trick to it?
Well, that's the great thing about the source. It doesn't ask Leo to suddenly be courageous. It just gives him this immediate, low-stakes reassurance. The expert in the video, Lisa, she just says, that's okay, Leo. Everyone starts like this.
It's permission to be a beginner.
It is. And then she follows it up with the real advice.
You don't need to be perfect to speak English well. Small mistakes are not a problem.
And that right there, that's the mindset shift. It moves the goalposts from some kind of impossible perfection to just functional results.
Yes.
If there's one key takeaway from this first part, it has to be this. Clear communication matters more than perfect grammar.
That is a game changer. It gives you permission to be messy. It shifts the goal from academic purity to just delivering value.
Right.
You're telling yourself, if I can get my point across, even with a few mistakes, I've succeeded. And that just deflates the pressure and the fear.
And once that fear is, managed a bit, you can finally focus on the actual mechanics, how to actually get better.
Exactly. This is where you move from the philosophy to the technique.
So we accept that whatever we're doing is a skill. And skills grow with practice, step by step.
Step by step. That's the mantra in the source. Progress isn't some magic leap. It's just this gradual accumulation of competence. Okay, so let's get into the specifics. What are the techniques they recommend? Because they're great models for any kind of learning.
Well, they start simple, speak a little every day, repeat sentences, read stuff out loud.
All these low stakes, high repetition tasks that build up the muscle memory.
Yeah, they call it mouth and brain coordination. But the most interesting one, the one we should really dig into, is shadowing practice.
Shadowing is fascinating. For anyone who doesn't know, it's where you listen to a native speaker and you try to speak right along with them.
At the same time.
Yeah, matching their speed, their intonation, everything. But why is it so powerful? It's not just about learning words.
No, it's a direct assault on that fear of flawed execution we were just talking about. The source says shadowing helps you speak faster. But more importantly, it helps you speak more clearly, more naturally, and with confidence.
So it's like a meta skill. You're not just training the content, you're training the delivery, the rhythm, the music of it.
Exactly. When you're shadowing, you are forced to abandon your internal editor. You don't have time to think too much before you speak.
There it is again.
You're just mimicking. And by focusing on the flow, you trick your brain into letting go of the need for perfect grammar in that moment. It builds automaticity.
That translates so well to other things. If you're learning an instrument, it's playing along with a recording. If you're learning to give presentations, it's mimicking the cadence of a great speaker.
The common thread here is just repetition. Listen, repeat, speak out loud, over and over. The source promises that the more you do it, the faster you improve.
And the reward for all that work is simple. Every small step you take brings you closer to your goals. It's not about being perfect by Friday, it's about taking that one small step today.
And that reframing is everything. It makes the whole process about consistency, not about magnitude.
Which brings us to the really universal part of this. The source material kind of pivots here. It says, hey, this "don't wait to be perfect" idea, it's useful in a lot of areas of life.
And this is where it really connects for everyone listening. The psychological barriers a language learner faces they're identical to the barriers a beginner in any field faces.
It's always the fear of making a mistake.
Always.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the analogies they use because they're perfect. The first one is starting a new job.
Right. You don't know everything on day one. You learn by doing and by making small mistakes.
Think about the person who spends their first 2 months just reading every single company policy before they volunteer for a project.
They're waiting to be ready.
They're waiting for this state of perfect knowledge that just doesn't exist. And the small mistakes they were so afraid of making, a badly formatted email or something, those are necessary.
That's the learning process.
Yes. The real mistake is waiting so long that you fail to produce anything at all.
And then there's the gym analogy, which I think is even more powerful.
Mm-hmm.
The source says, if you wait to be strong before you go to the gym, you'll never go. Strength is the result of going, not the prerequisite.
It completely flips the script in the beginner's mind. We think, if I'm capable, then I'll do it. But the reality is, if I do it, then I'll become capable.
It demolishes the idea that you need ability first. And with fitness, waiting for perfection means waiting for the perfect diet, the perfect workout plan.
The perfect energy level, yeah.
But the goal isn't to be perfect. The goal is just to show up enough for your body to start adapting.
And that feeling of difficulty when you start something new, cooking, driving, anything, does not a sign you're failing. That's the feeling of your brain and body adapting. It's a good sign.
So the big conclusion is that mistakes just mean you're trying. And progress only comes from action, never from waiting for perfection.
Which means we really need to shift our whole mindset. And to do that, let's unpack a few of the key words the source focuses on. They aren't just definitions, they're like the pillars of this new philosophy.
Okay, let's start with the word confident. The way the source defines it is feeling sure about yourself and your ability, not being very afraid.
And what's really important is the example they use. I feel confident when I speak English with my friends. So confidence isn't about being on a world stage.
No.
It's about achieving success in a low-stakes environment. Confidence is a byproduct of successful action. You get it because you practiced.
The second concept is matter, as in to be important or have value. And the crucial application here is that sentence we keep coming back to. Clear communication matters more than perfect grammar.
This is a lesson in ruthless prioritization. In your own life, you have to ask, what really matters here? Stop agonizing over the perfect font for the presentation and focus on the core message.
Right. Focus on what delivers the value.
It tells you where to spend your energy.
And finally, the goal itself, progress. The source defines it as moving forward or getting better little by little.
And the key phrase there is little by little. It redefines success. It's not a pass-fail test. It's a continuum.
If you did one small thing today, you made progress.
Exactly. It prevents that all or nothing thinking that just kills your motivation when a task feels huge.
So, to wrap up our deep dive, the huge lesson hiding in this little language guide is that the path to getting good at anything is paved with consistent, messy action.
Progress is born from doing, it's fueled by repetition, and it's sustained by accepting that mistakes are just proof that you're in the game.
Stop waiting for the moment you feel ready. Embrace the daily practice.
Start now.
And that brings us to our final thought for you to take away this week. If this philosophy is right, if learning is a journey where every small step gets you closer to your goal, we want you to think about one goal you have right now.
Yeah, professional or personal. Where are you currently waiting to be perfect before you'll let yourself begin?
It could be a project at work, a tough conversation you need to have, a creative hobby.
And ask yourself,
Hmm.
how can you restructure that goal right now to prioritize consistent, imperfect action over that delayed, idealized perfection?
What is the absolute smallest, messiest step you can take in the next hour to stop thinking and just begin?
The answer to that question is your next step toward real progress.
We'll see you next time for the next deep dive.